Good afternoon. Welcome to your June 1st, 2026 Rotary Club of Ames meeting. Let's go ahead and start today, this beautiful day, with our Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, here we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have anyone to keep in our thoughts and prayers today?
No, Jerry Hall.
Jerry Hall died recently. Jerry Hall, okay. Well, let's keep the Hall family in our thoughts here. Let's take a moment. Okay, thank you. You can be seated. We've got several guests here today with us. We would be happy to sing our welcome song too. I'm going to start with Paul's going to introduce his guest here today, and then we're going to take the mic away from him.
And you said this was my microphone. Well, it's my pleasure to introduce my wife, Lynette Spicer. She's very interested in Barilla pasta. So I said, this is the time to come.
This is perfect.
Now, other things that I can add to that? Or
Next week. Next week. Well, you can come back here next week and add. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to have Don introduce the guests he has with him today.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce my son, Dennis, and my grandson, Reese.
Thank you for joining us. Our guest speaker, I'm going to just real briefly, we're going to add you to the welcome song, Mike Arndt from Barilla. Thank you for joining us today. Appreciate that. And then we've got Steve Dakin here from Boone over there. He's been a past district governor, and then Steve Schroederbaker as well. So thank you both for being here with us today. Let's go ahead and do our welcome song then. Welcome to you from Ames Road, Nevada, London, or Gay Paris, the far-off lands or the USA. We're glad that you are here today. Back again whenever you're near. Join us and then we'll make it clear. Around the world you'll always be welcome at Rotary. Thank you, Louis. And we do have birthdays, so we got a birthday song to do. We've got several birthdays up there. Happy birthday, everyone. Let's go ahead and sing happy birthday to them. It is actually June. It says May, so don't forget that this is your real birthday. All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you. That's just Allison's way of making sure that you know what month it is and it's your birthday. So good job. Everybody passed. And then we've got anniversaries, May anniversaries. Look at all the folks that got married in May over the years. June again, sorry. If it's on the teleprompter, I'm reading it apparently. Hey, this is a good thing it's my last month, right? Happy May or June anniversaries, everyone, Rotarians. And then June membership, we've got a slide for June membership. I was going to see if Warren was here today and give him a mic for a minute, being at the top of the list, 41 years. Congratulations to all of the members up there and for your years of service. Really appreciate that. Let's have a round of applause for everyone for that. Next week, we will be online for our meeting. And then back here at the Plex on the 15th, we have several Paul Harris and the community grant presentations. And then we'll be back online on June 22nd. And then it's not up here, but on June 29th, we're going to have a sign up for an off-site fellowship luncheon where they will provide lunch if we would sign up, and that will be at 60 Forward. So we'll have that on our next weeks, and we'll start to get a sign-up sheet going. So remember that on the 15th when you're here to see if that'll work for you on the 29th. And then on July 6th, I pass the gavel over to Tammy. So be here in person for that. Miracle League. Please sign up for Miracle League if you haven't already. We've got some June dates, June 6th, 13th, and the 20th yet at 10 a.m. And it's about an hour, really is all. They're taking pictures and all that by just before 10 o'clock. So come out and join with the Miracle League if you haven't already. It's a great time. You get to see the kids having fun. And yeah, good thing to have. Next here, I'm going to go ahead and start with Steve. And Steve, if you both want to come up, and we'll have a presentation here for major donor Don Goring and his family.
Well, thank you for this opportunity. It's always great to present for a new major donor level. Don didn't write one check. He constantly gave to achieve this new level. And that's the important part that you want to realize, that constant giving. And you have to realize this is our foundation. We are the ones that give to it. We are the ones that decide where it's going to. So this is our foundation. So I want to thank you, Don, for your many years of service and for contributing to the foundation.
All right, thank you, everyone. Let's see. So, for those of you who don't know who I am, Steve Schraderbacher. I am past president of the Ankeny Noon Club, and then I also currently serve as your assistant governor. And we'll be moving into the District Rotary Foundation chairperson role from this gentleman right here as of July 1st. So you'll be seeing more and more of me. Okay, so today the Rotary Foundation trustees, Steve and I also have the honor of expressing our appreciation for a donor who has made a substantial contribution or contributions towards Rotary's mission of doing good in the world. In doing so, he supports and honors the Rotary Foundation humanitarian and educational initiatives, which make a significant difference in the lives of others. It gives me great pleasure to announce that Don Goring has made contributions to the Rotary Foundation that qualify him for Major Donor Level 3. And we're going to ask if Don could come forward and accept our congratulations and appreciation. Congratulations, sir. Thank you. I'm just going to read a little bit more here. Don, you're part of a special group of donors designated to improving communities both near and far. In appreciation of your significant investment in our Rotary Foundation, the trustees wish to express their gratitude by presenting you with a couple of commemorative items. Let's see. So we have a crystal here from the foundation, and it's got the Rotary peace symbols, the doves on it. I don't know if you've seen that. And then Mr. Dakin there has a pin for you in appreciation of your contributions to the Rotary Foundation. Contributions like yours enable the Rotary Foundation to carry out a variety of programs through dedicated Rotarians and Rotary clubs around the globe. Together we promote peace, fight disease, provide clean water, sustain mothers and children, improve education, and strengthen local economies. Thank you again, Don, for your generous support. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking Don. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Don, and your wife for the years of contributions to the Rotary Club of Ames. Pretty special there. So thanks again for that, and your family members being here, Dennis. Dennis and Reese, yes, thank you. Reese goes to Iowa State. He's carrying on the tradition. That way, young man. Good job. Next, I'd like to invite Kent Frankenfeld up here for a second. Now, Kent thought he was going to get the mic for a second because he requested that today, and then I got to pull a little switcheroo on him. So we actually have, for the Guardian of Integrity, we actually have a plaque for that. It was given to Steve here recently. Wanted to present this to you officially now for your service above self. Perfect.
Integrity for
But I will give him the mic here for a minute because he did ask for that.
Embarrassed because what I'm going to visit with you about are a few housekeeping items. Just take out the trash. We have set recycle items, packages, so with bottles and cans. Please set those there and don't throw them in the trash because we do recycle those. The other one, if we run out of beverage, let me know or us know, and we'll get you the beverage closest to match that you may have requested. And also for new guests and members, we'd like to share with you, we do have some Rotary coffee mugs that are out and also pins if you would be interested in taking one or two of those home with you. We want to encourage that as well. We want to promote, obviously, Rotary in any way we can. One of those is by doing our recycling, doing our civil duty, and the other one is to keep you all nourished, and the other one is to thank you for your participation as Rotarians. So thank you all for all of that. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. And I think our next slide actually talks a little bit about the recycling. So yes, thank you for doing that. And next, so please silence your phone if you haven't already. For our guest speaker, I'm going to ask Kevin Burke to come up and introduce Michael Arndt. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Jamie. It's my pleasure to introduce Michael Arndt. He is the Senior Human Resource Manager for Barilla America, leading HR operations at the Ames facility. In this role, he is responsible for overseeing all aspects of human resources, including talent acquisition, employee relations, organizational development, compliance, and workforce strategy. He also leads initiatives focused on employee engagement, retention, and the continuous improvement of HR processes across the plant. Michael brings extensive experience in human resource leadership, strategic planning, and organizational development. Prior to joining Barilla, he served as Senior Human Resource Manager at Michael Foods, where he built high-performance HR teams, implemented employee-focused programs, and drove measurable improvements in retention and workforce culture. Early in his career, Mike spent 25 years with UPS, holding roles in operations, human resources, and health and safety leadership. During this time, he led initiatives to promote employee wellness, enhance workplace safety, and integrate innovative solutions to improve operational performance. Mike is recognized as a results-driven and valued-based leader with a strong track record of fostering positive work environment and leading transformational change. His approach emphasized data-driven decision-making, talent development, and building organizational culture that supports both employee growth and business success. He holds a master's in business administration as well as an undergraduate degree in business administration and marketing. Welcome, Michael.
Well, thank you for inviting me today to spend some time with you. Great honor to be here, and I'm just going to share some. I think there's a little video tour going on in the background, at least of our plant. If you haven't had an opportunity to make it over there, I'd certainly welcome you moving forward. We can certainly arrange tours. But again, thank you for the introduction. And just give you a little background on Barilla. I am not a lifer at Barilla. I've spent some time in the food industry prior to Barilla, as mentioned, Michael Foods, and a lot of time at UPS. But nevertheless, it's a very awesome organization, and certainly if you haven't had enough pasta already in your lunch, I brought you over a box of Barilla pasta here today. Feel free to go through there and find out a brand or a variety that you would like. So a little bit about Barilla. The plant's, we're certainly proud to call Ames home, number one. This is a very large plant in the pasta world. There's one other plant with Barilla that's out of Avon, New York. That was built recently. They're doing an expansion on that plant right now, but we're very proud of this plant. This plant really takes care of all the pasta needs for Barilla for all of North America. They kind of take care of Avon, that eastern seaboard, but we take care of really all the rest of the country. So it's the most complex plant that Barilla has, headquartered out of Parma, Italy. There's several plants in Italy and Europe, and it's actually much larger of a bakery in Europe. So the Barilla, it's kind of, we know it as pasta, right? We do dry goods, dry pasta here. When you look at the whole picture that Barilla has, they do a lot of the little wafers and crackers and cookies. That's a very big business over in Europe. Americans, we all are very trend happy. We anymore with social media, looking at what's hot. And right now the big flavor is Protein Plus. I brought some of the Protein Plus with us today. So, but the plant here at Ames, what makes us a little unique the most, we do have a mill here. A lot of the pasta plants would not have a mill. So that's the big tall silos you see driving down the interstate. It's 9 stories, and we process 110 rail cars every 2 weeks. So it's a lot of rail cars coming in there. You'll see 3 staging areas, and we do those all in about a day and a half, and they fill up those silos full of wheat. Really what pasta is a pretty simple product. The packaging that the pasta is in actually costs more than the pasta itself to make, okay? So it's a very cheap product, okay? However, it's a very, I never thought about it prior to working at Barilla, but the nice thing about it is it's very consistent throughout the year, okay? So in the summer, we saw a lot of the tricolor, the short goods. The people are making pasta salads, not doing a lot of lasagna, not doing a lot of spaghetti in the summer. But as we get into the fall, it is extremely busy. Right now, we are doing a plant shutdown, so if you drive by on the interstate next week, you won't see a lot of cars out there outside of our maintenance team. But it's one of those industries where, let's face it, when gas is $5 a gallon and people are budget conscious, they're buying pasta. All right, it's $1.86 a box. You can buy a jar of pasta sauce and you get the family fed. So it's one of those things you didn't think about that I guess at least me, I did not. But it's we process about 1.2 million packages, individual serving packages per day. So going through a lot of it. But the most common, or I guess the thing that strikes me most unique about it is how simple it is. It's really water and wheat. Okay, there's no egg, there's no other ingredients. We do put some other products in some of the variations like the Protein Plus, but it's really a simple ingredient. It really is. So we use a lot of water, a lot of utilities. It's one of those products that that's kind of the staple with our ingredients. No, we do some in that plant that's a whole wheat pasta. We have 2 lines that are all gluten-free. You probably see some of it on the channels or on the TV right here, but some of it is the gluten-free has really gone down as far as the need. It was a hot thing about 10 years ago, and it really has kind of dived down a little bit here in the last couple of years. In our plant, we have about 270 employees, okay? A very large maintenance team because it's very, it's a tough thing to, it's a tough thing to get all the equipment fixed on a day-to-day basis. I guess I want to answer any questions any of you have. I mean, I kind of wanted to open it up. I was just kind of doing, hopefully the video kind of does it justice. But any questions that anybody has about Barilla or what we're doing at our plant? Yeah.
How many employees did you say?
So 270. 270.
So why has the gluten gone down?
Well, it's a craze. Right now, you'll see the yellow boxes, which are the Protein Plus. The gluten-free, it was just, I attribute it to the internet. I mean, people were, hey, got to do gluten-free, gluten-free, gluten-free. There's still a need. There's some people that can have gluten, but there was people that were buying gluten-free pasta before that really didn't need to buy gluten-free pasta. It was just a craze, right? We have 2 lines that are gluten-free. We've actually transitioned one of those lines to where we're starting to make traditional pasta on. Just because that need has gone down. So the different types of pasta that we have, still the blue box, still the semolina, that brand, or just the original pasta, that is still on the hype. But the yellow box Protein Plus is the most in demand right now.
I'm Mike Kitchell. I retired from healthcare 2 years ago, and right now there's a real shortage of healthcare workers. So can you tell me how many workers you need and how many times you have to replace them? What's the workforce like for your industry?
Thanks for, good question. I'm thankful to say we're staffed, which is wonderful. But we always need maintenance employees. That's the toughest thing to fill. Our equipment is very unique. Some of it comes from Italy. Some is from other specialty companies that make this. So the extrusion devices, the dryers that we buy that in the processing area are very complicated. So our maintenance employees is the most needed position. Our maintenance employees, just if you're wondering kind of what wages are, I mean, I guess I really didn't talk about that. Our maintenance employees are every bit of $100,000 a year. They're getting a lot of overtime. There's $43, $44 an hour on some of our top positions, plus overtime and a shift differential. So it's a good paying position. That's probably the most need that I can say right now. Our operator positions, from time to time, we've got 2 people that we're planning on that are retiring in July, so we're just backfilling. About a year and a half ago, we had 15 or 16 positions open at one time. I'm very proud to say we've got 0 positions open, so which is wonderful. So, yeah.
Paul Lastly, I was interested in where do you get your wheat? Because I don't see a lot of wheat grown in the Midwest. So could you tell us where you source the wheat from?
Sure. The wheat that we get is a Durham wheat, so it's a darker wheat. It's not out of Nebraska. When I first was inquiring, I had the same question: are we getting it out of Nebraska? That's what you think of, right? Ours is a desert durum, so most of it comes out of the Dakotas, North and South Dakota, a little bit out of Canada. We do get some from a pocket out of Texas and Arizona. Okay, it's very specific. Not a lot of other places use that wheat. We're probably the biggest customer for the wheat farmers. Our corporate office is out of Chicago. We have buyers there, so there'll be wheat buyers that'll work with these farmers. And it's been good this year. The wheat crop's been good. And last year it wasn't so much. We were having to source some of our wheat from Italy. Yeah.
George Belitza is here, and I wanted to begin by thanking you for hiring quite a few refugees. These are the legal refugees who are here from different war-torn countries, so you've really made room for them, and I thank Barilla for that. I'm with the Refugee Alliance. Now my question, how was Ames picked as the site for your plant? You're serving all of North America, and how did we get so lucky to get this plant in Ames, Iowa? What were the virtues of locating here?
Yeah, it's a twofold question or twofold answer. One of them is the water quality here in Ames was a big factor. We use a lot of water, and there's an aquifer that runs through here, so that's one of the reasons is the water. The other reason was really it's a simple answer: Interstate 80 and Interstate 35. We have distribution centers in Oregon. There's one in California. There's one in Texas. There's one in Kansas. So we'll send product. There's the facility right across the street from us, across the interstate. We lease half of that, so that's all storage, warehousing. We're re-racking our entire warehouse right now. Warehousing is very expensive, so we look at our supply and what we have out there. We want to keep about a 30-day supply on hand. Our warehouse is full right now. Okay, it's full, but a lot of the customers, like Costco is a big customer, Sam's Club, Hy-Vee's, they'll come to our distribution centers like across the street. It's very easy for them to get in and out of here, get in and out of Ames. So that's a lot of it right there. It's just the corridor having 30, 35 and 80 right here. That's the big part, but the main reason right out of the gate was the water quality.
Hi, I'm Sheila Schofer from Ames Public Library. I seem to recall at a presentation maybe sometime that was about innovative practices of area businesses, and that there was maybe a partnership with DMAC for, like you mentioned, the maintenance worker of kind of skilling them up, taking existing employees and skilling them up, and maybe another one around childcare or transportation for buses for kids going to school, like just innovative things that I thought, was that Barilla?
Yeah, it was, and thanks again for the question. One of the things what we did do was partner with DMAC, Warner Community College, and we have, that's where we were having a tough time. We had quite a few maintenance openings. We could not find enough maintenance technicians. Now, if we talk to some of our partners around us, Hawk across the street, or 3M, or American Packaging, some of these other places that need maintenance technicians, they have the same thing. They're like, hey, I can't find technicians. So we had to create them. Okay, so we had employees internally that were working for us as packaging operators, and that had a desire to go to maintenance. They just didn't have the knowledge. They didn't have the training. So we do have an on-site, if you want to call a suite for them, that they go and they work and do some computer work, coursework, and then they also partner with some of our technicians to go through an apprenticeship. It's an 18-month program. We have 5 employees that are currently going through that want to be maintenance technicians. They're trending. We pay for the college courses through DMAC, and they do some of the classes in Ankeny at the DMAC campus. But it's been very, very impactful for us. We just had 3 that graduated. Now they're current technicians. They went to shift. They go to a maintenance apprenticeship salary right away, so it's not as much as what they would be as if they started as a maintenance technician, but they're working towards that. It's been awesome. As far as the childcare, we've looked at that, and there's been some other companies that have been in the headlines. I think 3M was actually the ones that had on-site childcare. We've looked at it, and we have not done that yet because we've looked at really what the need is. There's about a dozen employees that said they could benefit from it, but we've done some things that help them offset their childcare, some assistance.
Dan Devine, question for you on your flour. Of course, Italy's famous for their double O flour for things and different gluten levels, different grind levels versus United States. Do you grind your own flour, and then what standard do you guys go to?
Yeah, so we do grind. It's it'll be semolina is what it's called. We do buy some of the product that comes in, so like for our gluten-free plant, and also some of the byproducts that go into it, like the protein plus that we're mixing, that is trucked in. We don't grind that, but we do grind our own wheat. To that level, I couldn't answer to what standard it goes to. I'm not going to make something up, but we do grind it all there. It's quite the process. Right now, we're doing about a $5.5 million expansion in the mill, adding new sifters, new shakers. It's got, if you were to see it, I don't know if it has it on some of this, but in the mill, there's big grinders. They got big wheels inside this machine, and it turns and it just shreds that wheat. So they do a debraining process, they wash the wheat, does a color sorting device that goes through and knocks out any impurities, and then it goes through several processes to get that ground down. And it's kind of a flour, that's what I'd say, but if you feel it, it's gritty. It's got kind of a gritty feel to it. So we do have, in our mill, there's 18 employees in the mill. Something I should mention, we do run around the clock, 7 days a week, 24/7. So out of those 18 employees, they cover 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, constantly grinding wheat.
Hi, I'm Carl Byrne. What is the shelf life of the pasta and what limits the shelf life?
We have a resident technologist. His name is Angelo. He is from Italy, and I asked him a lot of those same questions. I said, does it really go bad? He goes, no, eat it. Okay. So there's not really a shelf life. It will say on the box it's about 5 years. Okay, so when they print it, it's 5 years is what it'll say on the box. It's got a very long shelf life. It's a dry good, so it doesn't really, so to say, get bad, so to say. I've had pasta that is on my shelf for a long time, and it seems to cook up just fine. On the box, it does say a time period in which to cook the pasta, right? They say al dente is what it says on the front of the box. If you overcook pasta, it's not very good. It turns into mush, okay? It gets really sticky. The pasta, I mean, it depends on what the cut is. It really what it comes down to as far as the cook time. But there's not really a shelf life, so to say. I wouldn't hesitate about eating a 10-year-old box of pasta, but it's just me.
Mike, Randy Olson, Iowa Limestone Producers Association. You said that the company's based in Italy, right?
Yes.
Is it family held?
Yeah, so a little bit about the history of Barilla. Thank you for the question. There's 3 brothers that still own it, still bear the name Barilla, okay? It is out of Parma, Italy. There's one that's actively involved in the plant and in the business still. The other 2 are kind of silent. Kind of interesting fact, one of the brothers used to be an F1 car racer. So one of our cuts of pasta is actually a F1 car wheel. They've gotten kind of creative with some of that stuff. This year, I'll get to that in just a moment, but this year you'll see some stars and stripes pasta. They're in the shape of a star for the 250th anniversary of America. But 3 brothers still own it, still very active. One of them is, and it's truly, it's unique. I mean, going from a company, I was with, as I mentioned, with UPS, very large company. Not a bad thing to say about them, but vast differences between being publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange to being a Barilla. They're not on the stock exchange. We don't have shareholders that we answer to. The one nice thing I've heard about, and I've seen it firsthand, if it's not perfect, throw it away, okay? And they will say that. If the pasta's not right, color's gotta be right, moisture content's gotta be right, the quality of the cuts, they want it scrapped. Nothing out there, it's gotta be a premium pasta. So they still go with that. If there's things that need to be fixed in our plant, we really don't have to ask a whole lot. They're like, fix it, make it right. So that's refreshing to say, so they do care very much about the quality.
And a quick follow-up. So you mentioned that this Ames facility serves most of North America. Yeah. The plant in Avon, yep. Avon is picking up the East Coast. Can you talk a little bit about the brand's size, either domestically or globally, relative to competitions?
Yeah, so competition, if you go into a Hy-Vee or a Fairway or a Walmart, you're gonna find store brands, you're gonna find other brands on the shelf as well. We do regard ourselves as a high quality pasta, so it might be a little bit more, but you're talking the difference of 20 cents. One thing that we're very proud of is keeping that quality very high. Avon, what they do, they do not have a mill there. They do very simple cuts. They do spaghetti, they do your fettuccine, they do some of the shortcuts. We do every cut in Ames and every variety of pasta outside of lasagna, okay? So 26 different cuts here in Ames. They'll do the whole wheat, do the gluten-free, we do the red lentil, chickpea. So it's probably the most complex plant outside of a plant that they have in Italy, right here in our town here of Ames. So very complex place. Avon takes care of, when we're shut down next week, they're going to pick up some, makeups for us a little bit because we'll be down for 7 days. Yeah, it's a very, very complex plant right here.
And of the pasta sold in the U.S., how much of it is Barilla versus another brand, roughly?
Yeah, so we say we're about 16% of the domestic sales here in the U.S., which is pretty large when you get into the various other brands. Given the store brands hold their own because box of pasta, the same box, when people are price conscious, they're 88 cents and we're $1.80. Okay, so that's a big difference, right? But it's about 16%.
You mentioned, sorry, I'm Allison Walter. You mentioned that you have train rail cars come in with all of the wheat, then you process it and then you warehouse it. Do you ship out on rail or is it mostly semi?
Yeah, it's mostly semi. We don't ship out on rail. The only thing that will ship out on rail is the byproduct. So there's really no waste that comes out of our facility. Very little, I should say, to waste. We do sell some of the product, like the debranding, some of the product that might have hit the floor that goes into a tote. We'll sell that as an animal byproduct. So they'll use that into making pet food. It goes to cattle feed, that type of stuff. But it's all out on truck in the finished product. But the rail service that comes in, we do have a carrier that comes in, and they will actually break all the rail cars apart. Our own employees do not do that, and nor do we have truck drivers. All of ours is done through Murphy Logistics. We do everything making the pasta, but we don't do anything from shipping it. Yeah.
How about a round of applause for Mike?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Hold on one second here. So we sponsor Raising Readers, and I'd like you to sign a book. You can pick which one you'd like, and we'll give this to a 2-year-old on their checkup.
Perfect.
So you can pick bugs, dogs, or cats.
I'll go dogs.
I'll have you right on the very back there. Oh, somebody already signed that one. We'll get you a different
How about
one.
this one?
Yeah.
The cats?
Yeah.
Cats is the one that's not taken.
Cat's the one's not taken. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again.
Hey, and then everybody, on your way out that box, seriously grab a box of pasta on us, and appreciate
Fantastic.
it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Yeah, so please, on your way out, grab a box for some pasta this week, and there's a lot of different varieties in there. I'm sure to take a bit. We'll put it by the door. Allison's going to put that by the door. Thank you to our guests today for joining us. Don and your family, thank you for coming. Congratulations again on that major donor status. Thank you for all that you've done to help with everything within Rotary over the years, and it's really pretty special and something to aspire by. So thank you for that. And in closing today, I'm going to just remind everyone that it's summer. I was talking to Katie that it's really officially summer, so make time to make memories be with your family or your friends. So just think of it that way this summer. There's all kinds of possibilities for that, so make time to make memories. So with that, let's do our 4-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you, everyone. Is it fun? And is it fun?